bring everybody to the table, and again, including people who historically have been shut out. And basically, that's the direction we'll be going. Thank you.
Ms. Pepe.
First and foremost, the people that should be involved are your teachers, your principals, those and the parents and students. They should tell us what they want in a superintendent. They're in the trenches, they're in the schools, they know what we need. We are not listening to the right people. Now, let me tell you how I plan on hiring a superintendent or a police chief. That would be to post the positions nationwide. Just post the job listing. When we get those resumes and applications, they will then go to only one person, and nobody will know who that person is except for me. Those applications will be copied. The originals will go in a safe with 2 different locks and 2 different keys, so nobody can ever get in them, myself or the other individual. Then everything will be cut out, the name and the city where these individuals are from. We're going to leave the politics out of choosing who is the individual, because you know what? I can't tell you how many phone calls I've received so far telling me who the new superintendent should be. The politics are already starting in this city. And the way to keep that out is to have a team of people look at all these applications, study the applications, and then dwindle it down to 3. And that group of people will consist of people in the community, as well as teachers, students, and parents. It's most important because they're the people that we have to reach, and we're not reaching the parents, and that's one way to reach them.
Mayor Sarno.
I think you all know my reputation about accessibility. Reverend Swan was just in a week or 2 ago. Ida Flynn, we met a number of times, served on many boards. Maurice Poe, Billy Blatch, Julian Tynes have constantly had contact with the NAACP when good times or when there was times when it's controversial. We'd come out and meet, whether it's police, education, anything else. So my door has always been open. Number 2, on the school superintendent, as we did before, and I put across again, not only a school committee process, but a community process. I want the best superintendent, whether from afar, local, or from within. That's what our children deserve as we move forward. And have all the proper individuals at the table, which includes the community as we move forward. But as far as accessibility, I think each and every one of you in this room will indicate that my door has always been open. And if I can help you, I will help you. If I cannot help you, I'll try to find another avenue as we move forward. I love this city. I love my family, but I consider the city of Springfield my family too. So accessibility I don't think is a question. I've worked with the NAACP hand in hand. Many times we agreed. Other times we had to work together to solve problems. But school superintendent search, I have put across that there should be a community component. I've also put across to the Mass Association of School Committees to come visit our school committee, to be vented in the process as we move forward and do the best. The number 1 priority is our children. That's our number 1 priority. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to ask those of you who have your questions written out, please raise your hand so that they may collect those cards from you and begin to bring those forward. The next question will be asked by Ms. Michael Ann Busey from Arise for Social Justice.
I have a number of post-tornado questions that I could ask you, but tonight I would like to focus on what your strategy is going to be to replace the 300 units of rental housing that was lost in the city. And if you have time, to talk about how your housing policy will balance the needs of homeowners and renters in this community.
I'm going to ask Ms. Pepe to answer that first.
Well, thank you. First and foremost, we do have to rebuild the city of Springfield, but we have to rebuild it not on the backs of the people. It's becoming a fiasco right now. The permits have been very expensive. The insurance has become cumbersome on everybody. They cannot get carpenters or contractors to come to their homes to help them because they need the money up front. We have people that are out there that can't even get their houses fixed because of all these problems that are rising, and we have winter coming. I would not want to be in anybody's shoes. Now, do I have a concrete plan for that? No, I do not have one yet. That is something I'm looking into. It's a large issue. It's a large issue across this entire city. We're going to have to convince people to come in here and rebuild Springfield. And that's one of our hardest problems, is to rebuild Springfield. Because nobody wants to invest in a city where there is crime after crime after crime. When you invest in a city, you want to be able to rent out your properties to individuals. And you won't be able to do that until we fix it. We have to look better than what we do. Look at your streets. Look at this entire city. Look at your terraces. You have to make it attractive. But no, I cannot stand here and tell you something that I haven't thought out completely, because I have not. But that is something I will promise you I will look into. Thank you.
Mayor Sarno.
First of all, I am very proud of the resiliency of the Springfield people, neighbor helping neighbor. We have worked together. I've appointed Develop Springfield and the Springfield Redevelopment Authority to work together. And again, we dealt with Michael Ann, as you know, all the way from shelter victims, numbering up to 400, got them all placed, all the way up to businesses, which 85 out of the 92 are currently operating. What we've done is we had an RFQ for National Disaster Recovery Rebuilding Consultants. We had the interviews, and as early as probably this week or next week, we'll be announcing a world-class consultant firm coming in here that's going to be helping out. What I have done, unlike Katrina, where it took 3 plans and millions of dollars, and they started from the top down, I've started from the bottom up, appointing a community grassroots group, people that were affected by this, listening tours in each and every one of the neighborhoods to listen. And all the consultants have been interviewed saying, you're way ahead of the curve on the information that you're putting forth here. I've met with the housing specialists. I met with the tenants. I met with the homeowners and business owners to get all their input as we work together to rebuild our city bigger, better, and stronger. I look upon this as Governor Patrick said to me a couple Sundays after when he called to come in, a late Sunday afternoon, to visit some more neighborhoods. Nobody wants these storm clouds. But in the storm clouds, there's 2 shining lights right now. The resiliency, and there's going to be a tremendous amount of economic development and monetary assets coming to the city of Springfield. When you look at the building permits, they have skyrocketed. Certain areas are rebuilding left and right. Other areas, we're going to work harder with the right of entry, pushing through Governor Patrick, President Obama, the people that insurance, they don't have insurance, or insurance has been already expended, to be able to go on their property and help them out. I'm going after 90% reimbursement, just like Joplin and Alabama.
Time.
That's what we do. We have a strategy. We're going to look forward to announcing it even more.
Mr. Tosado.
Thank you. You know, during the aftermath of the storm, I also had the opportunity to walk to all affected areas, including the Hickory Street area, the Rifle Street area, and those are areas that nobody was paying attention to. Those were areas where the residents themselves, who were renters and poor, had to sit outside to guard their belongings because nobody was giving them the protection that they needed. As I answer this question, my answer would be that we need to make sure that as this money comes in and the rebuilding effort begins, that we need to make sure that all our citizens stay in the city of Springfield, including those that others may not want. We need to make sure that the development that occurs in a way that is going to create mixed rate opportunities for folks who need assistance in their housing, that they receive that assistance. We need to be watchdogs. You need to be watchdogs. All of us need to be watchdogs, because it becomes so easy at this time to put your resources elsewhere and forget about those who we might classify as marginal. Thank you.
The next question will be asked by Mr. Andrew Melendez, Director of the Mass Latino Chamber of Commerce.